everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. It's your girl, Mare, here bringing you all of the powerful musings and tips and tricks ahead of 2026. Crazy that we only have a few weeks left. This is the final countdown. Also, the final countdown of me crossing from maidenhood to motherhood. It's crazy, wild time. It feels like time is moving fast and slow at the same time. You know what I mean? So, for today, I was going to tell you guys that I wanted to talk about manifestation, but we're going to tackle it from a different end. So usually we give you the tips and tricks on how to manifest, right? Tap into the feeling, set the vibration, drop expectation. But today I'm going to talk about what you should not be doing, why your manifestations aren't working. If you feel like you're doing all the visualization, you're writing the things in the journal, you are setting your sights on that goal, and you're just like getting frustrated. You're like, ugh, it hasn't happened yet. Is this even working? Or you start finding yourself saying like, why me? Or why has it happened to that person and not me? This is the episode for you. So we cover manifestation. We cover manifestation week in the upgrade. It's week 7, and that's after we've repatterned old beliefs. We've shed old stories, and we start to really believe something is possible for us, visioning from a place of possibility. And I talk a lot about what is even manifestation? What is this elusive manifestation thing that we all speak of? But it's really just setting your intention and then taking aligned action that supports that intention. So today, if you feel like you have been, doing the journaling, doing the visioning, but it's still not working, we'll talk about why some of these things might be blocked or spiritual constipation, if you will, and what you can do to get out of your own way so you can start calling in that abundance, high vibe frequency that you want. And I've had this too for myself, for the things that I've manifested. Show with Spencer, before I had called him in, I was hoping a lot for a partner to live this fabulous life with. And for many years, it wasn't working. And why my manifestation wasn't working in that sense was that I had a checklist of what I thought a partner should be, right? I want him to be this, like a checklist, versus like, this is how I want us to feel together, right? Versus focusing on the feeling. I was jealous of other people who were in good relationships. Oh, it's happening for them, but not for me, versus viewing them as Gabby Bernstein, author of The Universe Has Your Back and Super Attractor, calls it, versus viewing them as driftwood. Oh, if it is possible for those people, it's showing my subconscious it's possible for me too. And I wasn't taking radical ownership for how I wasn't showing up in alignment, right? And taking care of myself and being the greatest love story of my own life. And the last thing that I'll say is sometimes when we try to bite off a huge manifestation, but we don't yet believe it, we block our blessing, so to speak. Like, and I've given this example before, but if you're like, I want to make $20 million, but you've never made 100,000, like, that's going to be hard for your subconscious to believe, versus like, I want to make, $20,000 this month or in the next 2 months, and then I want to make 40, and then I want to make 60. It's like breaking off these small believable chunks that are just ever so slightly out of your usual comfort zone to help start to expand. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I freaking did it. So yeah, with Spencer, it was like, or calling in my person, it was like I had this huge sweeping fairy tale list, but I didn't fully like believe it, versus just like, I want to feel good with this person. I want to feel respected. I want to feel consistent, baseline things. And then, I want us to plan adventures with each other. I want us to feel really like present with each other. And how can I be these things for myself first? So that's my little anecdote, but let's break it down into little steps, because that powerful stuff, we all love a few good steps. So I have pregnancy brain today, guys. So thank you for going on the winding journey with me. yeah, so number one, why your manifestation might not be working is you're not taking aligned action. That's the biggest thing, right? You can vision all you want, you can write in your journal, you can meditate under the full moon. But if you're not taking aligned action and doing the things that scare you alongside of visioning for this thing that you want, it's not going to happen, because manifestation is intention plus aligned action. So if you're not taking action, you're not going to see momentum. And again, going back to that Spencer example, if I was just like, I just want my guy to fall out of the sky, but I'm not going to new events where I might be meeting new people, if I'm not occasionally like, you know, downloading the app, or even if you hate app dating, like doing something, that puts you in the frequency of meeting new people, you're not actually taking full aligned action if you're not telling your friends or friends of friends, hey, do you know anyone who could be a good fit for me? This is what I'm looking for. Like, introduce me, right? It can feel hard to ask for help or put ourselves out there in that way. But if you're not doing these like slightly uncomfortable actions, like the universe isn't going to do everything for you, right? It's going to meet you in the middle, and you're going to be a team, and you're going to do it together. So that is the biggest one. The second reason, as I kind of already touched on, is you really have to believe some part of it yourself. If it's a huge quantum leap in your belief system, it's very hard for you to actually lean into that trust, because some part of your subconscious is like, but would this actually happen? Like, or you might not feel deserving of it. I don't feel like I'm deserving of it, so I'm going to self-sabotage. I'm going to kind of go through the motions and half-ass it, and then I get to be like, it didn't really work. And so um, that's number two. And so how we solve for that is we start with like tiny, believable shifts that are just ever so slightly out of our current comfort zone, right? Um, like I gave with the money example, or maybe with the soulmate, it's like I meet a guy who feels XYZ way, or who, I don't know if he's my forever person, but I feel like there's like mutual respect and communication there. And that already is a step in the right direction, or whatever it might be. So that step two is getting it to believability. And you can also do this if you're really struggling with why you feel like you don't deserve it. You can really go back to like some of the patterns, which if you go back to past powerful stuff episodes of like uh, change your life or break free of old patterns in 4 steps, um, you can go back and look and say like, where is like my inner child feeling like they're not enough, and so that they don't believe this is true, and what do they need to hear from me, what do I need to reassure in them, so they start to soften into this belief that they are in fact enough. So what can help with that is going back and acknowledging your inner child and looking at where your shadow is coming out and sabotaging um, all of this positive progress, because some part of you doesn't believe you're deserving enough. And then the third thing that you can be doing to block your manifestation is um, you can be believing that it has to come at a certain time or in a certain way, right? Like, I think I'm going to just meet my husband through friends of friends. I fucking hate the online dating apps or whatever. It's like, okay, well, that's an assumption, right? And it's kind of like you saying that you're controlling the path to like meeting your person, and that might not be how the universe does it. Or you're like, I'm going to get famous from like my reels I'm posting on Instagram, and that's going to be the way, versus like I'm going to keep doing those things, and I'm open to other opportunities as they present itself, or what feels good, or whatever it might be. And so I've said this before, where it's like drop expectation, hold the vibration. And it's being open to things happening in ways that were different than you expected it, and on different timelines. Just because it hasn't happened by September doesn't mean I'm going to abandon all hope. I'm going to keep acting as if, and I'm going to trust in the magic dark, as Lacey Phillips would say, the other premier manifestation coach, of, I'm going to trust in the magic dark that um, I like am even more close to my manifestation, even if um, I'm not getting any outward like winks that I'm on my path. I'm going to continue to trust and show up and act in high integrity. And then my last thing that I'll throw in of why your manifestation might not be working is that I sorry, a friend just called me and I can't wait to call her back. Oh my God, ping from the universe. It's so funny because her thing says, or like her tagline for her own spiritual healing business is your highest self is calling. And I'm like, oh my God, it's my highest self. I have to answer. But all of that's to say, you know, your oh my gosh, sorry guys, brain fart. Okay. The last thing I'll say is that it might not be working if you're also feeling like super jealous of other people. It's totally normal, right? Human nature to feel in jealousy or in comparison with someone. And with manifestation, it's acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging, okay, like I noticed this coming up. What does little Meredith need? How can I reassure her? How, like, no one's done it like her. You know, she's on her unique path, and these people are proof that it's happening. And if she's around this energy or even seeing it in her field, it's proof that it can happen for her too. So it would be reframing that comparison or that jealousy as a wink from the universe that you are, in fact, on your path. Maybe even reaching out to that person and being like, thanks for inspiring me, right? Um, and putting it in into a frame of gratitude versus jealousy or competition, and having that true manifestation abundance energy of there's room for everyone at the top. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am not perfect with this one either, really. And it's a constant practice, it's a constant returning, even as I train people in the upgrade, and I've talked about it so much on powerful stuff. It doesn't necessarily always get easier, come more second nature, but it is a ritual that I come back to when I notice that comparison coming up, and like sending that person good vibes and like, thank you. If it happens for you, it can happen for me. I appreciate it, and coming back to returning to that abundance. And so, with that, the last thing that I'll say is gratitude. A reason your manifestation might not be working is because you are not grateful for what you already have. I use this analogy time and time and time again, where if you are um, not grateful for what you have, the universe isn't going to give you more. It's like if you're a parent and your kid gets a toy, you give them a toy and they're treating it like shit. And then they're like, I want a new toy. You're going to be like, why? You're not even taking care of the toy that you have. So like, let's take care of that one first. And then maybe we can talk about the new toy. And so it's really savoring and being so grateful for what you have and all the ways things have already worked out for you, and coming from a place of gratitude versus greed. And that is going to be what supercharges your manifestation. So today, instead of doing like a full um, long meditation, we're going to do like what I call a quick ping meditation, where we're just going to connect to our highest self and get some answers. And so that way, whenever you're in the middle of your day or you're feeling like off kilter, it's a really quick, like 1 or 2 minute thing you can do to reconnect to that inner intuition and truth. So we'll just start with 3 breaths as per always. So just close your eyes, take a deep breath in, exhale it out, let it go. Another deep breath in, exhale, let it go. And then third and deepest breath in, and exhale, release. Just envisioning your highest self who already has this thing that you're ready to call in, whether it's partnership or a new profession or this beautiful new house, just seeing them in that energy. And as you connect to them in that energy and start to feel that feeling in your heart, starting to sync with them on that frequency, just asking them, how am I blocking my manifestation right now? What am I not doing? Or what am I doing that needs to be realigned? Trusting whatever they say. And then asking them, if I were to take one shift, one aligned action to step into this, what do I need to do? Trusting whatever they say there. And lastly, what do I need to believe about myself, about the world? What do I need to believe? What belief do I need to return to know that it's possible? Thanking them. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Another deep breath in. And exhale, returning to this space. And when you're ready, opening up your eyes and jotting those things down, those 3 things. What am I doing to block my manifestation? What is my next step? What do I need to believe for this to come true? And be kind to yourself as you do these, as you take these aligned actions. Remind yourself like you're already out here doing the work. It's because you want the best for yourself. So enjoy it along the way. Try to have as much fun with it as possible, because if we're not having fun with it, then why are we even manifesting? You know what I mean, guys? Okay. So remember, why are you blocking your manifestations? You're not taking aligned action. That could be a big one. You're trying to control it too much, right? When it happens this way, then whatever. You are comparing and competing instead of celebrating and trusting those things as signs or winks from the universe. And you are maybe biting off more than you can chew, so to speak, versus slowly, gradually building that belief system. So that way you really can anchor in your deservingness and be reminded of it. And lastly, you're not being grateful. And the more gratitude we have, the more we're saying, yes, more of this. So when you fix these things, let me know how it goes. Watch the manifestations pour in. And as a reminder, I'm doing my 3-day masterclass the second week of December. My early bird pricing ends the day after Thanksgiving. So if you're curious, if you've wanted to do the upgrade, but you haven't had the financial means or the time, this is the moment to let me know before I go on maternity leave. And I will see you all next week for more powerful stuff.
Hey, you. Thank you for coming on this powerful journey with me. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you rate, review, and subscribe to Powerful Stuff so I can keep bringing you the goods. We can keep going on this transformative journey together. And if there's powerful stuff that you want to share with me, with the Powerful Stuff community, tag us on Instagram at That's Powerful Stuff or the Meredith Baker. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more powerful stuff.